Do you bleed? You will. Hello, welcome to Batman vs. Superman review, Dawn of Justice review by Lopez Power Lopez. Now, as some of my viewers might know, I'm a huge Batman fan. He's probably my favorite superhero. I mean, as a kid, I liked Spider-Man, but as I got older, after The Dark Knight, Batman became my favorite superhero. Now, I'm a huge fan of Batman. I really like Batman 89 and the Batman Returns I thought was okay. I really like Mask of the Phantasm. Forever was okay, and Batman and Robin was awful. Batman Begins is great. The Dark Knight was awesome, and Dark Knight Rises was pretty good. Now we've come to Batman vs. Superman. A new Batman universe. This time, Ben Affleck is the one who has the cape and cowl. And what do I think of this movie? Well, I'll go over I'll talk about the Superman movies real quick. I really like Christopher Reeve is the definitive Superman in my opinion. I really like Superman 1 and 2. I can't remember 3, I only saw it once when I was little. 4 was okay. Superman Returns I thought was decent. I didn't think it was mind-blowing. Man of Steel. Interesting thing about Man of Steel, when I saw it in the theater, I thought it was okay. But when I saw it on DVD, I actually really liked it. It's one of the few movies I actually liked more watching at home on DVD than when I first saw it. I thought it was actually not a bad movie. Yeah, a lot of people died as a result, but I thought it was, a solid movie, solidly acted. I thought it was a pretty good attempt to make a more darker Superman. Superman is kind of hard to make dark because he's all colorful, and Superman's supposed to be kind of campy. Batman is really easy to do because he's naturally brooding character. Now, what do I think of this movie? Well, before I get to that, this movie's been getting really bad reviews. Really bad reviews. It's got a 30 on Rotten Tomatoes. It's scored lower than Batman Forever, and is the only second lowest to Batman and Robin, and is like the lowest scored Superman movie. And what do I think of this movie? I like it. I really like it, actually. I don't think it's nearly as bad as people say. Now, do I think it's something as good as The Dark Knight? No, it's not. It's not a great movie, but it's a good movie. I really liked it. I found it very entertaining. I thought it was a more serious approach to the Avengers type of superhero movie. I really like the Avengers, but after that, most Marvel movies were pretty much the same. like everyone praised Captain America, the Winter Soldier, and Avengers Age of Ultron, and those movies were pretty much the same. They're lighter hearted and not really that dark. Although I love Guardians of the Galaxy, that's a great movie. But other than that, Marvel's just kind of meh with me. I might be destroyed for saying that, but after the Avengers, they pretty much keep making the same movie. But this movie I thought was more interesting because it has a more serious vibe. And for me, although I love Goofy, I can get behind a more serious vibe. Now, Henry Cavill as Superman was not bad in this movie. Lois Lane was okay, although I thought what she was doing in the movie didn't really connect that strong with the real story. I guess it did. But other than that, she was fine. Her storyline was fine, but didn't really connect to the movie. that I know of. The two characters that really stand out of this movie, actually 3. Although I really like Superman, Ben Affleck's Batman is actually really good. His version of Batman is Kevin Conroy's Batman realized in live action form. It's the one from the animated series, it really is. And he even has like the voice, like he has this thing that changes his voice. It reminded me a lot of Kevin Conroy. This is like a Kevin Conroy live action Batman movie. Um, and I can't, to me, I grew up with Christian Bale for the most part. Um, and it's kind of hard for me to say that he's better than Christian Bale. But he's probably more suitable for the role. Um, he really pulls off the millionaire playboy really really well, and the Batman really well. He has this, the rich guy that that just is full of philanthropist and is always interested in business, and he plays that really well. Um, and he plays Batman pretty good. This is probably the most physically imposing Batman, live action Batman I've seen on silver screen. I mean, this Ben Affleck got big for this role, and also his armor was just. This is a more brooding and intimidating Batman. Probably the most I've ever seen. It's just this guy. I mean, Ben Affleck's like 6'4". Okay, he's probably the tallest Batman ever. This guy's huge. This guy could crush Tom Hardy's Bane from The Dark Knight Rises. That's how physically imposing. I used to think Tom Hardy's Bane was really imposing. After seeing this movie, I'm like, yeah, Ben Affleck could have. If that was in the Dark... I really like Dark Knight Rises. And I probably like Dark Knight Rises a little better than this, but this Batman, could, if he fought against Bane in that movie, it would have been Bane that got his back broken. This Batman, what I noticed about this Batman is he's very imposing, but he's not the most technology advanced Batman. He's more of a brawler Batman. He's more of a vigil in live action since the Tim Burton ones. That he's probably the least technologically advanced, but it's a different Batman. He's more of a brooding He's more of a brawler. He's more of a street brawler Batman. He's the Batman that doesn't rely too much on technology, although he's not afraid to use a gun. This Batman is not afraid to kill people. Which I'm not sure is a good thing. It's not a good thing, but this Batman is a street brawler. That's what he is, and it's a different type of Batman. It's a different Batman than we've seen in live action form. Like I said, it's the one. No, he is like the one from the animated series, but the one he's like a lot is from the Arkham City and Arkham Asylum video games. That's the Batman that's realized in this movie. He's pretty much that Batman. Like the big, physically imposing Batman. It's that Batman brought to life. And the fight scenes, oh my god, it is like the Arkham Asylum, Knight video game put on the big screen. The fight scenes with Batman is really good. Although I really like the fight between Batman versus Superman, by the way, this has spoilers. There's a scene in the movie where he has to rescue Clark Kent's mother while Superman takes care of Doomsday. And there's a scene, it's the one from the trailer, and it's like Alfred is like, I'll drop you on the first. They're on the third floor. I'll drop you on the second, and I'll get to Alfred in a minute. It's that scene, and plus it's extended in the real movie. From the trailer, it's like wow. That's probably the best Batman crowd, like one henchman after another fight scene I've ever seen. It's like you feel every hit and punch, like Mask of the Phantasm. You feel like. And it's really fast paced, and you can see everything that happens. And the other character, and Ben Affleck he's very intimidating. But he has, this is probably the most expression Batman I've ever seen. For some reason, this version allows more expression on him than most suits I've seen in live action form. Um, it's a very interesting suit. It looks like it's like made out of duct tape, and like it looks like a very used, and it's not really a high tech suit. It's more of a, although he does get one, he does put on one in the movie. Just the regular suit is really it's a street brawler suit. It's kind of a cool looking suit. Um, the other character that's really good in this movie is Jeremy Irons. Um, what's his name? Alfred. Okay, so this Alfred is a different Alfred. He doesn't really feel like Butler Alfred, although there's a scene in the beginning of the movie when he's a little kid. The first scene of the movie is when his parents are shot, and it's the funeral. We do see a little bit of him in the fancy tuxedo, although it is a funeral. But the most of the movie is just wearing like a normal regular dress shirt and pant, like tie and jeans. He's like he's more of this like sidekick, his eye in the sky in this movie. This is the most cynical Alfred I've ever seen. I really like this version of Alfred. He's like he's like, Master Wayne, you should save all this stuff for the next generation of Waynes. Not that there'll be any, but it's like, unfortunately, it happened to you too, getting old. Or it's like not dying young, something like that. Oh my god. Like, this Alfred's like, whatever. I'm just gonna help you. It's okay. This is the most cynical Alfred. Like, comparing this Alfred to, like, other renditions oh my god. How can I say this? Okay, the one from the Christopher Nolan movies, Michael Caine's Alfred. It's like, Bruce Wayne, don't do these things. I love you. If you do these things, if you be Batman, I can't stand by you anymore because I want to protect you. He's more of a protecting Alfred and more of a parenting Alfred. Whereas this Alfred's is like, whatever. Whatever, Master Wayne type of thing. It's just it's a really interesting version of Alfred. It really is. And Jeremy Irons is, when you think of it, he's like, even more than maybe Michael Caine, like the best person to play Alfred. He's not in it much, but he does have, when he's in a scene, he's just really good. And the other character that, although when she's normal, she's okay, like when she's just trying to be a regular person, but when she's Wonder Woman is really good in this movie. It makes me excited to see the Wonder Woman movie. When she's just, trying to blend in at the parties that Wayne and Clark Kent go to, she's okay. But when she's Wonder Woman, it's like, if you thought Black Widow is cool, this one's like really like knows how to fight and really steals the show and shows that cool fierceness. And she's probably the best part about like the fights when they're the three together. She's probably the one that handled like Doomsday the best, like fighting wise. Even more than Superman. Like, this is a really cool rendition of Wonder Woman. And she really, just like I said, displays that fierceness because she was in Israeli Soldier, Gal Gadot, so she knows how to get a war face on. Now let's go into Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. For some reason, he's not as bad as some people say. I think it kind of works for this movie, but I think it would have been cooler to see a serious, older take on Lex Luthor. Like, I know it's supposed to be his son, but come on, it's Lex Luthor. But anyway, I would have preferred to see like how Lex Luthor should have been in this movie. I thought would have been really cool if they would have pulled, like, I don't know, like in the Daredevil Netflix TV series, like Wilson Fisk, like that type of actor and that type of age and that type of role, kind of like this high I know Lex Luthor is more of a businessman than like a crime person, but like that type of presence and that type of role, I think would have worked better than just this guy is pretty much Jim Carrey's Riddler from Batman Forever. He has like the weirdest scene in the whole movie with like a Jolly Roger. He's just like, take it, it's cherry. And for, I don't know, it's just like really weird scene with a Jolly Roger. Although he does have his moments, like with the painting and stuff like that. And his plan is pretty interesting, although it's very unclear on times, but like, why, you don't really know why the motivation behind it sometimes. Like, why does he really want to take down, I mean, you get Batman's motivation. In the beginning of the movie, you see that his fight with Zod pretty much killed all the people he worked for in his building. It was his, like, you know, his workers, you know, he was probably friends with those people. And, you know, he's talking to this one guy you can tell he probably had a good friendship with. So you can understand his animosity because he was there with Superman. You don't really understand Jesse Eisenberg's animosity. He's just nuts. You kind of feel like he wants to beat Superman just for power. I don't know. Just to kind of like rule the world. And you don't really understand why he creates Doomsday. You don't really understand why his motivation is. Well, he probably has one, but it's not very clear. And I'm not sure that's the intention, but just kind of weird for me. Although he wasn't bad, it's not as bad as some people say. He's not like Jar Jar Binks or anything. Well, let me think. There's also, you get, I've read a lot of reviews on this movie. It's like, oh, this movie's just setting up the other movies. That's what it is. It's mostly just setting. There's only like 2 scenes that set up the Justice League. I mean, come on. It's a 2.5 hour movie. It's not like it takes up the whole movie. But there's a scene where they get like this hard drive that from what's his name, Lex Luthor, that Bruce Wayne like hooks up to his computers, and it happens to be like files on all these superhuman beings. Like you have Aquaman, Cyborg. In the same scene, he finds out Wonder Woman's over 100 years old and all that. And at the end of the movie, when at the funeral, I'll get to later, when he's like, we need to round up these people in case something like this happens again. We need to get them together so we can fight crime. That's what Ben Affleck's like. So he's pretty much going to round up the Justice League. Now, I'll talk about a little bit of the beginning, because the beginning is really good. And it's pretty much just, although it is a little weird, but anyway, I'll get to the weird part. But there's one thing, is it's pretty much, you know, showing how his parents died. This is like the most artistically cool version of the murder of his parents in any of the forms. Like it's like, it feels like a comic book, like when the necklace is around the gun and it breaks. It's straight out of a comic book. Zack Snyder really knows how to make a comic book look on film, and it's just so, it feels like a comic book. It's so artistically done. And of course we have the scene where he falls through the well and the bats fly over. It's like pretty much the same scene from the Christopher Nolan Batman, only in this scene all of a sudden he starts floating up in the air with bats, and it turns out it's a dream of a thing. Although it's probably the most interesting version take on that, I'd say. The movie is, I'd say it is pretty good. Now let's talk about Doomsday. I didn't mind him. I mean, I think a movie would have been better if it was just focused on Batman versus Superman. Oh, that's what I should talk about. The fight. The actual Batman versus Superman. The fight in the movie, with Doomsday, I'll talk about Doomsday first. Doomsday I don't think was that bad, although I thought it would have been better if they just focused on Batman vs. Superman. He's just kind of a CGI. He's like a mixture of like the Rancor with the troll from Lord of the Rings. But it had, the thing is, as a character-wise, he's just kind of there. But the reason why I'm okay with them having Doomsday is it really does. The ending fight between Wonder Woman and Batman and Superman was really entertaining. So I'm glad they had the. I can see why they got Doomsday in there. And I wish Doomsday had more of a character instead of just a big monster. But at least it set up a really cool fight scene with Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman together, and it's like, and it plays like rock music, and it's like this is really kick butt here. Um, this is a really cool image of them together. Um, is okay. Now let's talk about the fight between Batman and Superman. To be honest, I like the fight with Batman's henchmen. I thought that was more entertaining. But at the same time, there was some really cool parts in the fight. And really, how he's able to fight Superman is he has kryptonite. He steals kryptonite from Lex Luthor, and he has like this gun that shoots kryptonite gas on him, which weakens him, and he has a kryptonite spear. It's like pure kryptonite. If Superman gets stabbed by it or any Kryptonian, they'll die, which they use against Doomsday later in the movie. But the fight, it was a little CGI-ish, but it was really entertaining. I thought it had a cool setup. It, at least the thing that is about versus movies, like Freddy versus Jason, King Kong versus Godzilla, the Wolfman versus Frankenstein. They never have a definitive winner. It's always them getting hit by water or something. This movie has a definitive winner, and it's Batman, and it's really cool. So in the beginning, Superman's kind of kicking Batman's butt, but then he unleashes the kryptonite gas, and then all of a sudden he's kicking Superman's butt, and then Superman gets more strength, and then they fly through buildings and stuff like that, and then he throws more kryptonite on Superman and kicks Superman's butt, and Superman's like half dead, and he's about to stab him. And the only thing that stops him, and this is another thing people complain about, which I didn't have a problem with, is him going, Martha! Because his mother, Martha Kent, Superman's mother, was kidnapped by Lex Luthor, so that's what set up the fight. And, I never noticed that, though, because I followed Superman and Batman pretty closely, and I never noticed that they had, both of their mothers are named Martha. I didn't know that, like, Martha Kent and Martha Wade. I never knew that, but anyway, he's about to stab and he's like, Martha! And then I think it reminded him of his dad, because his dad said Martha when he died, when he got shot, and so it kind of reminded him of his dad. And also, he's like, how do you know that name? And stuff like that. And he's like, my mother's is gonna, and it's like, everyone's like complaining, oh, he turns good because he said Martha. Well, what is he supposed to do? Let Superman's mother perish? To hell with you, Superman, and just stab to hell with your mother? What was he supposed to do? Just I mean, I don't know. But anyway, that shows that, I think it showed that he was kind of human too, that he had a mother too, and he was raised here and stuff like that. And I think that gave him more time to show that Superman was actually a good guy, because when he saved his mother, he probably was going to go back and finish him off, maybe, and when he saw that he was actually helping him against Doomsday, it's like, this guy's not too bad. So the fight was cool, although I love the fight with the henchmen. I think that's probably the best on-screen Batman fight ever. But the Batman versus Superman, that part was okay. It had some cool parts, like when they're crashing in the building, some cool hand-to-hand combat. Anything else? Well, the thing about this movie is, the two other things is some stories don't really connect. You can cut them out and they wouldn't affect the movie, like Lois Lane with she was in the, like, I don't know, in Africa, interviewing these terrorists, and all these terrorists get shot by these henchmen, and Superman saves him, and it was supposed to frame Superman to look like he did. And so they I don't know, the bullet turns out to be like illegal, and traces back to Lex Luthor. But you could have cut that out and it really wouldn't affect the movie. I mean, I guess it could show that it was Lex who was trying to frame him, but other than that. And also the scene with the senators in the courtroom. Not, I mean, it's an intense scene, but I don't know. It just didn't really fit that much in the movie. Although it did have that scene where Lex Luthor was, sending Bruce Wayne weird mail. Like, you let your family die type of thing. And just, pours gasoline on the fire for him. So I actually really like this movie. It's not that bad. It's not a 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. This movie, I mean, Batman Forever got like higher on, I mean, not much, it's like 45. This movie's like eons still better than Batman Forever. Although I don't hate Batman Forever, it's still a lot better movie than Batman Forever. I mean, I would give it about a 75. I'd give it about an 80%. That's what I'd give it. I'd give it about a B. I'd give it about 2.5 out of 4 stars. It's a good movie. I mean, some things just don't connect with each other. And Jesse Eisenberg's, although I did like a lot of his scenes, and I don't think it's as bad as people say, his performance is just kind of, I think they could have thought of a better way to portray Lex Luthor, like how they portrayed Wilson Fisk in Daredevil. It's not bad. Ben Affleck is great as Batman. Jeremy Irons is great as Alfred. I mean, he's probably the most interesting Alfred ever. And Wonder Woman is really cool, although there's not much to her character. It's just she portrayed that character really well in the fight scenes. So that three, and then Superman's really cool. It is Batman. It feels more like a Batman movie, but it's more of a Superman story, even though there's more Batman in it. And at the end of the movie, Batman gets stabbed. I mean, not Batman. Superman gets stabbed, sorry. Superman gets stabbed, Superman dies, and it looks like they're going to follow the Superman Lives storyline that Nicolas Cage was originally going to do, where he gets killed by Doomsday, but then resurrects with a black suit. So Superman is dead, but he's in a coffin, and all of a sudden dirt is rising up. That shows that there's something going on, like he's not completely dead. His body still has energy, so there's probably a way they can bring him back to life. Yeah, I mean, it's a good movie. I'd say, like I said, an 80. I do recommend it. I do. I give it about an 80. I give it about a B minus. I give it about 2.5 out of 3 stars. It's a good movie. I wouldn't say it's a great movie. I wouldn't put it nowhere near The Dark Knight. But I think it's probably my second favorite Batman movie. Batman's great. It's not as good as a movie as that. Ben Affleck's Batman, I want to see more of. I would love to see a standalone Batman movie. I mean, at first I was like, I'm a little skeptical, like, oh man, I mean, we already had like 3 other a couple years ago. But what I've seen with Ben Affleck, he proves to be a cool Batman I want to see more of. I would love to see standalone. I can't wait for the Justice League. I thought they set up, they didn't spend too much time, like everyone's saying, oh, they spent too much time. Like it was half of the movie. It was only like 2 scenes. That were like, I don't know, like what, 2 minutes? But anyway, the movie is I think it's good. It's a really good movie. I think most people would enjoy it. Go in with your own opinion. Don't let Rotten Tomatoes or anything else affect it. It's nowhere near as bad as a 30%. I'd say at the worst it's a 75. I give it about an 80%. So yeah. Yeah, I recommend it. I might see Captain America, I don't know. But this movie is, I'd say, it's more, it has that Marvel, Avengers moment with all 3 of them together, but it has a more serious grit tone that I can get behind a little better than the Avengers, although I don't hate Marvel. I love Spider-Man, like I said. It's a really good movie. yeah, like I said, I do recommend it. I feel like a broken record, but I'll see you next review. Take care. God bless. Batman vs Superman. It's a really cool movie. So, that's okay.